Okay, I'm doing a little bit of work on the Ramcharger steering. I just really want to do that just this second, but since I got to replace my tire, which it's worn out, it got a big staple in it, went to plug it, and it just ripped. So I'll be getting some new tires tomorrow. So since I'm working on it, I'm going to go ahead and do these tie rods. They have about a quarter-inch slop or so in them. They're pretty bad. So I've already got the cotter pins out that hold that in, and I've sprayed it down with part breaker. So I'm about to just bust these out right quick and then get it on the bench, clean it up. Might do a coat of paint, put the new ones on. The sleeve, I'm going to reuse this sleeve, so I want to take care of it. And I'll go through some of the technique of how to get these off and put them back on. Alright, the assembly is out. So what I have here is the little clamp that cinches down. There's slots in here, and then the tie rod can turn in and out. Now there's a left and then there's a right-handed thread. That way you can loosen these and turn this shaft right here, and it either spreads it out or pulls them in, depends on which way you turn it. So I'm about to disassemble this, and like I said, I'm going to keep this piece and clean it all up because it's reusable. So the stuff I'm going to be using for the replacement is the Mavotech, and the reason I went with those is because on the boots here, they're actually got a clamp on the boots, top and bottom. I've used ones that don't have that, and what happens once it compresses down a little bit, the boot comes off, it doesn't seal against the tie rod or ball joint, then all the grease falls out or the boot rots off. So I don't really like going in and doing things 2 and 3 times, so that's why I went with these, and that should hold together nicely. I've used this stuff before, and I think that's the only way to go, is get the ones with the wires on them, no matter what brand it is. That's going to be way better. So that's what I'm about to do. I'll show you what it looks like torn apart. Anyway, so as you can see, the tie rods are off, and what I've done is I've counted these. Just kept coming around and counting how many turns they were, and noted which one is right-hand thread to go in and which one is left-hand thread to go in. So once I identified that, I've come back and double-checked that my new piece actually threads in, is the correct one, and I wrote down, you can see right there, 31. That's how many turns it was to come out. I just about forgot, that's why I wrote it down. So I would write it down on a piece of paper or something. So here's my other one. This is the left-hand thread. It was 31 as well. So I don't know if the vehicle's good and lined up or not. But that's a good start, making sure they're both turned in the same amount. That way if I need to do any adjustments, if I got to do a quarter, if I need like a half a turn adjustment, I can do a quarter and a quarter and keep these maintained correctly. So other than that, that's how it comes apart. I'll have to come through and clean all this up real good, and then it'll be a lot prettier next time you see it. Okay, I got it together. I'm going to count on the 31 turns in. I did a little bit of painting on here. It's it's not a show truck or anything. I just didn't want to put it back together all nasty and rusty. So I'm going to wait for tomorrow morning to come out and finish this, just because I know I'm going to have to take these and clock them different ways and maybe have to fiddle with these and all that. So I'll save that for another day. Okay, the tie rod assembly is back on. Want to note, make sure that the cotter pin is in and you grease them. So the other thing, once you take the old assembly off, try not to turn your steering at all, move any of your steering system. That'll help you whenever you put your, when you do the count and everything and you put it back on, it should still line up. So I actually had to turn this right here and adjust them slightly to get them to fall back down in there. So I will need to come back and adjust my toe. Just measure it out right quick. I don't even know if it was right to begin with, but once I get the new tires on, I'll adjust my toe right quick in the driveway. I might do a video of how I do that and stick that up there as kind of a tech tip or something. So anyways, that's how you put tie rods on an older vehicle. I'm going to go over how to do a home toe alignment. So I did this on my Mustang, my '89 Mustang Gym, and I'm doing it on my Ramcharger now too. So what I've done is, you see the tape with a little mark on it. What I'm doing is I'm putting the square up about mid part of the tire, and then I'm getting it level with concrete here. So it really don't matter. You see I'm kind of bowed in with a little bit. It really don't matter on that, because what I'm doing is I'm using the tape. I'm coming up square with the concrete, square with the tire, and then I'm coming in and I'm going to line it up. Well, it takes two hands, but you see the point. I'll put it in the same spot every time, right up against that tape, and I marked it for my reference point. So every time I put the square up to the tire, I'm getting 3 points that's exactly the same. So it doesn't matter if it's a little off, as long as the reference point is always the same. So what I can do here is, I've already done the other side. I do have jack stands underneath the tires, by the way. Is I'll measure from my reference mark there to my reference mark here, and do the same and compare the numbers. I'll have to move my jack out of the way to get that. Now it is the tire is free right now. It's on jack stands, so what I'll do is, once I get it pretty close, I'll drop it down and then check it again, actual weight, actually on wheels with no angle on it. But it should be close with the jack stands up underneath the springs here. And I'll just keep adjusting it until it comes out right. I'm looking for about zero toe is where I want to be on this. Okay, I want to show what I'm talking about with a tape measure. I'll come out just a little extra far, and I'll adjust this other side over here and set it to my mark. So I'm looking at the mark right here, upside down. So I'm looking at my mark here. I'm right at 87.5. Do the same thing on the back side. A little extra room. I'm at 88, so I got a ½ inch of toe in. Just by looking at the tires, I know it's toed in the front and by the numbers. It's a half inwards. So then I'll just adjust my tie rods until I get the right numbers, and just keep coming back to the same reference point. Alright, so I did change my tires. While I was messing with it, I figured I might as well align this up with the new tires. So I went ahead and redid my marks and everything like what I was showing before. So I've got the adjuster sleeves on the tie rods loose, and I turned those out a little bit since I needed that much more room. And I'm about to measure it and see what I got. I got the little arrow here so I know which side to put this on, because if you start dancing around this side or that side, it's going to throw the measurements off. Same with the tape measure, is measure the exact same spot every time. So I'm going to mark where I was marking on the number 5. So I'm going to put me a little mark at 5 inches from the tire, front and back, both sides, and then I'll remeasure those marks. See, I didn't actually mark my booyah here. It'll be on this side. So I'll make sure it's squared up. Swat out a gnat. Do my mark. Do it on the other side. And then take a measurement. See what I changed. Alright, I did my measurements. I had to adjust it a couple times, but I am within, I have a 1/16 of an inch toe in is what I'm at right now. So I'm going to let it on the ground. Actually tighten on my adjuster sleeves. Don't move them. Let it down on the ground. Do a double check and make sure I'm right with it actually on the ground. Okay, so I checked it with the weight on the ground, and it is absolutely perfect, 0 toe. Thanks for watching.